Hello, YouTube. So, it's been a while since I talked about this show. And out of nowhere, 6 episodes have now come out. Really, I didn't expect this. I mean, I expected like at least 2 to come out, like at least each week, but for some odd reason last week they decided to put out 2 sets of episodes. Don't know why, they just randomly decided to do that. I guess that they were just thinking, well, we've been on hiatus for a while, so let's just sort of put out 2 sets of episodes in this whole entire week, and then we'll just go back to our normal schedule. Maybe. Yeah, this week's not even over yet, so I don't know. They might do this thing again. I really do hope that this isn't gonna be their usual schedule now. But yeah, so since they got 2 episodes out last week and now one out this week, so we have 6 of them to talk about. This should be fun. So the very first episode that we have is Raid the Cave, which pretty much it starts off where the last one ended. Glossaryck has now been taken by Ludo, and he also Star's book has now been taken, so she gears up to go and get Glossaryck and her book back, but yeah, she doesn't really need any of that, apparently. All she needs is her wand, and after getting some advice from Buffrog and finding out where to actually go, then they go there, and pretty much they find out that this is a home for peaceful monsters. Don't know why Buffrog sent them there. I think that the location changed or something. I don't know. I forgot a little bit, but yeah, so there are just a bunch of friendly monsters here. Are they gonna make allies with them? No. They're just gonna hang out there for a little bit. Guess that works too. Well, some of those monsters do seem like hippies, so it's a good idea they don't make allies with some of them. They don't like hippies. Don't question my logic on this. So, yeah, they start searching around, still looking for Glossaryck, and Star decides, well, we're getting nowhere. I'll just see where he is. So she uses her new spell in order to see where other things are and what's going on in other places, which Marco was surprised that she has, even though she learns new spells all the time, so I don't know why it's surprising to him that she learned another new spell, but apparently this shocks him. So, and she uses it. She finds Glossaryck after a little bit of searching, and she's trying to convince him to just sort of tell her where he is. But now that he's owned by Ludo, he's just gonna ignore her. How evil, I guess. I don't know. So, yeah, now he's just sort of ignoring her, and Star keeps on trying to say, okay, where are you? Can you please just tell me? I just now opened up this portal to see. I mean, it's not really a portal, sort of like a window. So she tries sticking her hand through, and Glossaryck keeps on telling her, you can't get in this way, and eventually she does. So I guess he was wrong there. But she keeps on telling him, okay, just get in my hand now, you can come here, and he's just like, no, I'll just hang out here. I got pudding, and I got a book, so I'm good. So, eventually, the window closes, and she is left pretty much just saying, well, we'll just sort of have to wait around again later, I guess. So, yeah, that went somewhere, I guess. So, now Star goes back feeling kind of disappointed, but she decides she's going to make a notebook for spells. Not gonna lie, I've done that quite a few times. I have like 5 of them. Don't know why I said that so happily, it's kind of lame, but anyway, yeah, I got 5 of those. Some of them with Old English written in it. Yeah. Why am I telling this? Okay, but yeah, she starts writing a notebook, and that's probably the biggest thing that's accomplished in this episode. Now she started keeping a notebook, which is actually pretty cool, and I do actually like how she's handling the situation. Just like, well, can't really get my spells back. Might as well write my own book. I mean, like, I guess that works. And I also find it kind of weird how Glossaryck is acting. Like, does his personality change depending on who's in possession of the book? I kind of want to know how that works. Like, if someone takes my vest away, is my personality going to change because of someone else having my vest? Is that what it's supposed to be like? I really don't get it, but yeah, apparently that's how it's supposed to work. I don't get it at all, but yeah, his personality seems to have changed, but it's something that I think is kind of neat, and you can definitely tell they're going to be doing something with this later, but for now, it's just sort of a thing that's put on the side. So, for this episode, it's alright. I mean, it's not my favorite episode or anything, but it's an okay episode. I do at least like some of the development that goes on in it. So, after that one, we have Trickster, which has a very important plot. Finding out if a birthday party magician, I don't know why I couldn't say that for a second, a birthday party magician is a real one. This is an important story. So yeah, it's Sensei's birthday, and seriously, does this guy ever grow up? Like, he's having like a 5-year-old's birthday party with a birthday magician coming in. Like, I grew out of that when I was like 4 or something. Dude, grow up. But yeah, apparently he won't, and apparently no one else at this party will, because they're all super excited about this one birthday party magician coming in. Because I guess he's that amazing, so what does he do? Ordinary birthday party magician tricks! Amazing! I can see why everyone was so impressed. Oh, but also he sort of steals people's joy ever so slightly. Like, he does it just a bit. But he also makes Jeremy fall into a completely depressed state. Not sure how to feel about that, because on the one hand, he made a child fall into a completely depressed state, but on the other hand, it's Jeremy, so might be kind of well-deserved there. But yeah, now pretty much Star is noticing this, and she's not trying to tell everyone about it, but they're not believing her. So she goes and confronts him about what's going on. She finds out that he's a joy sucker, and pretty much he just steals a little bit of people's joy, just to, pretty much that's how he feeds himself, is off of people's joy. So he steals a little bit, and then gives them a nice little magic show. But he's stealing a lot from Sensei, because I guess he has a lot? It's not really what I've ever seen with him before. I mean, the only other episode really about him, he actually seemed kind of pressed about his situation in life. But then again, when I first saw him, he seemed like a pretty honorable guy, and then he just seemed like a moron the next time, and now he's joyful. So I guess he just really likes switching personality traits a lot. So yeah, Star strikes a deal with him that if he stops stealing people's joy for this one, then she'll let him finish the magic show and not reveal his secrets. But he starts stealing people's joy anyway. Don't know why. And Star reveals the truth. And for some odd reason, people get angry about this. Like, he was stealing your joy. You just saw it. Why are you angry about it? Also, they don't think that he's really a joy sucker, even though he just did it to everybody in the audience. How would they not notice that? Is it like when after that happens, then you just forget seeing it or something? I don't know. I feel like that should be explained a little bit. And also, why doesn't he steal any joy from Star? Like, is it when she's suspicious she has absolutely no joy whatsoever or something? I really don't get that, but yeah, she pretty much ruins the show for everybody, and everyone's angry at her. until the next episodes, then they're all cool with it again. And also, she confronts Sensei about this, and she's like, well, I wanted to see that guy since I was a kid. Finally got to. Found out he was a fraud and also a joy-sucking magical being, but kind of pressed about this. But I'll get over it, don't worry. And then the episode ends. I guess Jeremy just stays in a depressed state forever. I don't know. Maybe it just wears off or something. I don't know. He didn't really seem like he had that much happiness if it was that easy to steal all of it away from him. But yeah, that's pretty much this episode. Not that much happens really. It's just sort of a filler episode, but as filler episodes go, this one's kind of neat. It takes a generally fun idea and does quite a few good things with it, so this is an alright filler episode. I wouldn't tell you this is one that you need to see, but as filler episodes go, it's pretty good. So then after this one, we have an inspection. Yep, Star needs to pass a test so then she can stay on Earth. So in this episode, Star's parents are thinking, well, her daughter might not be doing the best on Earth, seeing as apparently now she's destroyed her wand and also lost the book and Glossaryck. Things aren't really going that well for her now. So, oh yeah, and also I forgot to mention in the Raid the Cave episode at the end of that one, Star told her parents that she lost the book and Glossaryck. I forgot to mention that. That was just a tiny little thing that I forgot. But yeah, now they're sort of like, well, I think that we need to see if she's doing good on Earth, if she's learning anything valuable on Earth. So they send a terrifying inspector. I think it looked like a cat or a lamb or something. It's supposed to be ironic, I guess. Like, they're building it up as this awful thing, and then just like this weird little cute thing that's not really cute to me. To me, overdoing in cute things, it doesn't make it cute anymore. It makes it weird. And that's pretty much what they did here, but I can see that's supposed to be ironic, so it is kind of funny. So Star is pretty much starting to clean up her whole room, even getting rid of her bed, because I guess that the inspector won't question why she doesn't have a bed in there. Know why the inspector won't question that, but apparently she won't. So, yeah, Star tries to clean up her whole room in time, and then Marco interrupts her with food. So, when the inspector gets there, it eats all the food that he spent a whole day making. This is the most important part of this episode. So, yeah, Marco is pretty much sent off to just go make food for this inspector, because that's a good use of his talents. Making food for an inspector. Great use of him in this episode. So, Star seems to be failing this exam, but then she's given the task of having to move an apple with magic without damaging it. And she fails a lot. But then it seems like she's just about ready to get it, and she doesn't do it again. So, yeah, the inspector pretty much thinks, well, you kind of failed every aspect of this, so I'm just gonna leave now. But then, at the very last second, because I guess the inspector just sort of stood there for a little bit, really, the inspector came in and left Muni so quick, but she just sort of slowly leaves the room, and, like, seriously, it takes, like, Star 45 seconds to actually get the spell done. In that time, the inspector could have just left, but no, she decided to stay to see where this is gonna go, I guess. So, the Star tries one more time to get this apple over there, and she creates a tree in her bedroom. Of course, the obvious solution. But the apple does get over to her in time, and it's completely intact, so now she has passed, even though it took her like 25 tries to do that, and outside of giving her this apple, she really failed every other aspect of this test, but you know, I mean, outside of that, she has now passed. So, yeah, the inspector goes back, and she goes back to Miri to tell her parents pretty much what she's observed. At first, it seems like she doesn't really think that she should stay on Earth, but she reveals that Star is incredibly powerful. I'm sorry, I cannot believe that. Like, after what I've seen from Star in the show, I do not see her as the second most powerful princess on Muni that there has ever been. Like, she really does not seem like that at all. Her mother, maybe, but her, not at all. But apparently, the inspector has not seen this type of power ever since one of the older princesses, or queens, I don't know, which apparently was evil, I think, maybe? I don't know. Like, she wore a lot of black, and, like, whenever they bring up her name, everyone just sort of, like, gasps. So I'm guessing maybe she was evil? I don't know. But, yeah, so if she is evil, maybe they're suggesting that Star will be? Although Star has actually read that chapter on that person, and she really wasn't interested in it, so foreshadowing? Maybe? But for this episode, it's actually alright. I did actually find it pretty funny at times, and the ending thing is left up to interpretation, but honestly, it does seem like it could actually have some promise there. So if they do something, so I'm hoping that they do something with that. But outside of that, really, it's still kind of a filler episode. But yeah, I definitely do recommend watching this. So after this one, we have Running with Scissors, which was by far my favorite out of all of these episodes that have come out recently. Like, at least out of all these 6 ones that I have to talk about today. So what happens in Running with Scissors? Well, Marco gets shot in the eye with lasers. And apparently, is just ready to go back to sleep after that. Yeah, okay, don't need any hospital attention there. Yeah, I just got shot in the eyes with lasers. Like, I mean, it's hard for me to go back to sleep after my alarm goes off in the morning, despite how early it could go off sometimes. But, I mean, getting shot in the eyes with lasers. That's the minor thing that you can just go back to sleep for, but if his alarm went off, then he might have gone up. So, yeah, after the little puppies with laser eyes do that 3 times, then he wakes up. How much of a heavy sleeper are you, Marco? Just like getting shot with lasers on the 3rd time, that's when it works to get you out of bed in the morning? God. Like, do you even need any hospital attention after getting shot in the eyes with lasers? Like, I feel like that could need some, I don't know, hospital attention or something, but apparently no. Apparently he can just walk it off. Because I guess that's how that works. So, yeah, Marco's gonna go off and walk the dogs, but can't really because it's pouring down raining, and also there's a guy swimming in all the water that's being built up. It's just kind of a funny little thing that they just put in there. But yeah, that should be a flooding now. I feel like people should be worried about that, but apparently Marco's just like, guess I gotta stay in for the day. Like, is flooding a common thing there? We never really saw the town get flooded before, so I don't know when this became common, but okay. So, and then he goes to see Star and ask her, hey, can I use your dimensional scissors so then I can go walk the dogs? This is a great use of this power. She's like, yeah, okay, here, I'll just keep on trying to hit this tennis ball with my wand. Yeah, that's the exciting thing that she's doing today. I mean, like, yeah, I guess that's something that you could do if you're ever bored when it's raining, but I don't know, I would usually watch TV or something. Although then again, Star doesn't have a TV in her room, or at least none that I've seen, and also the only other one in the house is in Marco's room and downstairs, and Marco might be using it, and also Marco's parents, they're downstairs. So yeah, I guess there is really no TV options for her, even though she could just create one with magic. But yeah, I guess there are no TV options for her whatsoever. So yeah, I guess hitting a tennis ball or baseball, I forgot which, with lasers, I guess that's a pretty good alternative. So Marco then lets the dogs go to the dog park, which is the same dog park which is in this town, but there it's completely sunny outside. We see later on that the weather hasn't cleared up, so, yeah, I want to know, how does that work? Really? Just like in this one part of town, it's pouring down, raining, even flooding. A few blocks away, yeah, then it's sunshine, complete sunshine, not a cloud in the sky. How does that work? I mean, like, yeah, weather works just like that, guys. Let's not question this at all. Like, it's the same dog park as they've been to in previous episodes, so yeah, this really makes no sense. But then Marco decides, well, I have these dimensional scissors, might as well abuse their power, so he starts doing random stuff with them, and for some odd reason not closing any of the portals he leaves open, and yeah, he just sort of wastes them as much as he can, because I guess that's a good idea. So then eventually he gets so lazy, he won't even toss a cup into the trash can. Really, Marco? You're just having like a lazy day today? I don't know. So, he decides he's gonna open up a portal to the trash can. Great use of power there. So, when he opens up that one, then the portal turns orange, and he gets brought into a different dimension where the person who actually owned the scissors originally, not Ponyhead, a being named Hekapoo. That's a really stupid name if you ask me, but yeah. Just, I got nothing else to say on that. Just a really stupid name, but actually a pretty cool character. So, when he meets her, pretty much he finds out that her scissors were actually stolen from her. From Ponyhead. Ponyhead's a thief. I knew I didn't like her for a reason. So, yeah, now Marco has to get these scissors back. And Hekapoo's not really wanting to do that, so she decides to give him a challenge and let him earn it. Pretty much, she has a fire on top of her head, and if he can blow that out, then she'll give him back the scissors. Only problem, she's very quick, has teleporting powers, and cloning abilities, and she makes like thousands of her. So, yeah, slight problem there. And then she opens up a lot of portals and sends all of her clones and her into different ones. All at once. So Marco has no idea which portal she actually went in. So he decides he's just gonna go home. Oh no, of course he won't. Because, I mean, he's gotta get scissors back. Important priorities there, Marco. So I really can't tell if he's actually doing this because he wants to get the scissors back, or if it's just a matter of principle now, but he goes after her, and Star notices that there's kind of a guy from the dog park in her house, so she decides that she's gonna go see what's going on, and yeah, she finds out about what Marco has been doing with the scissors, gets the dogs back, who have now completely burnt up the park. So they're gonna get arrested for arson anytime soon? No, of course they won't. So yeah, Star then asks Ponyhead, "Hey, what's this orange portal?" And she's like, "Oh, hey, that's from the person that I stole my scissors from. Yeah, I might want to just get Marco out of there." So Star goes in there to try and get him back and say, "Hey, the scissors, they're really not worth it. We can just go get another pair at a thrift store or something." And then we see Marco has a dragon motorcycle, has aged 16 years, has now become very skilled in a sword, mastered karate, and also now knows a magical language, and has defeated pretty much every other clone of Hekapoo there is. Oh, and he also trained with monks. Okay, show. I'll give you that one. That's awesome. So he goes and finally defeats the last of the clones, and then it comes face to face with the real Hekapoo, who I guess was just wasting 16 years on just sort of messing with this one random guy. Because I guess this was a huge priority to her. So, after having a nice little moment of reminiscing, actually, she finally decides, okay, well, you finally beat me, so here's your own pair of scissors. Like, I'm keeping mine, but here's your own. And then he's like, okay, well, now I can go back, or I can stay here with my dragon motorcycle. Tough call there. This world where you've aged 16 years, have made a pretty good life for yourself, have a dragon motorcycle, have a katana, has now learned different languages, has gotten a pretty good acquaintance with monks, and also has a dragon motorcycle. If I haven't already mentioned that, I have, I know. But seriously, dragon motorcycle, that is awesome. But, or he can go see Star again. Hard question to answer. Like, I really don't know which one I would do. I would pick dragon motorcycle. Like, I would be like, well, I can visit my family and Star again. Like, I can visit them. I have these scissors now. I can visit. Like, I dragon motorcycle. That would just be my answer. It's like, I got a dragon motorcycle now. I'm good. But Star comes in, sees what he's become, and is just looking at his abs. Why isn't he wearing a shirt? That was my main question during that scene. Like, I know what I should have been focusing on, but why isn't he wearing a shirt? Like, was it just for that stupid joke? Like, really? Was that the reason? Like, I don't get it. Or did they just have no shirts that fit him at that time? Or was he just so busy on blowing out flames on top of clones' heads that he couldn't go around and get a shirt, but had time to go get a dragon motorcycle? Yeah, that really made no sense, but Star is very impressed with what's happened to him now, and she's like, well, yeah, this may actually be a rare place for you to say, wait a minute, no, you got family, you got friends, you got me back on this world, so yeah, you should probably come back. So he spends a little bit of time thinking it over and decides he's gonna leave his dragon motorcycle. This is the most tragic thing to happen in the show. Dragon motorcycle! Named Nachos, by the way. My only question here, why doesn't he take the dragon motorcycle with him? Like, if I had a dragon motorcycle, I would take that thing everywhere. Like, that would be awesome. I would drive downstairs on that thing. Like, just going downstairs in my house. I would do that in my house if I had a dragon motorcycle. Like, dude, you have a dragon motorcycle, take advantage of that crap. But apparently, no, he's just gonna leave it with Hekapoo because I guess dragon motorcycles and laser-eyed dogs don't get along very well. And also, apparently, on Earth, only 8 minutes have passed So, yeah, he can just sort of catch up with everything, except for the fact that that pretty much for him, it's been 16 years, so yeah, I can't really catch up with everything. But, yeah, he decides, well, okay, I'm gonna leave, but, I mean, like, he can come back, though, so that's something, except for the fact that he doesn't really know which dimension it is, unless if he learned over those 16 years. You know, like, he did just sort of open up a random portal, which he didn't even use to get into this place, so unless if he learned which dimension this was, I don't really see how he can come back, but apparently he can. So, once he gets back, he is back to his normal age, and for some odd reason his clothes stayed the same, though. Don't know how that worked. And also, they've now just adjusted to his height. Don't know how that works either. Like, why would they come back but not be the same size as his body size in that other dimension? I don't get how that works, but now he's back and he's really out of place now. He doesn't even remember his own computer password. Honestly, this was actually a really good scene and a pretty good way of ending this episode. And eventually, though, he does decide, okay, well, I'll just walk the dogs in the pouring rain, I guess. I don't know what he's gonna do, but yeah, he's gonna go walk the dogs anyway. I don't know, maybe he'll just use his scissors again. Which, by the way, after this episode, Star is the one using the scissors. What the heck, Star? Marco earned those scissors. Get your own if you want them so much. Like, if you want your own scissors so much, go get your freaking own. Marco earned those scissors. Let him keep them. Also, why doesn't he have his katana anymore? What happened with that? Like, why couldn't he take things back from that one dimension with him? Outside of his clothes? Like, I don't get how that worked. But yeah, now he's back in his own dimension, and now he's back to his old age and everything, but he's really out of place. And this will be referenced in a lot of episodes. Like, none of them really. Like, in the next episode, what's Marco doing? Is he trying to get situated with the situation with Earth again? Nope. He's trying to pass a math test. Okay, I guess either he adjusted really quick, or they're gonna save that. I really do hope that they do something with this, though, because that was actually a bit that I really liked at the end of this episode, was that he really felt uncomfortable being back on Earth now. That was something that I really did like, and I honestly really hope that they do something else with, because I honestly really like what they've done with this episode. This is by far my favorite out of all these 6 episodes, maybe even out of this whole season. It's a very strong episode, which has really good development for Marco, and also just has a really good ending and good potential as to what else they can do with this. And now Marco is also a master with a sword, and I'm pretty sure karate, so yeah, please do something with this show. Get him a sword. Give him something else. Like, please do let him go back to that other dimension where he has a dragon cycle. I really want to see that dragon cycle again. That was my main selling point, guys. So, yeah, I actually did really enjoy this episode. It's a very strong one, and I definitely do recommend checking it out. Although, for an overall, if you're just trying to, like, watch a general story arc on the show, this one might be, like, a thing that is sort of brought up in continuity-wise in later episodes, but for now, it's just sort of, like, if you're just trying to follow a main story and continuity, then, yeah, you can probably skip this one, but I definitely do recommend checking it out. It's a really good episode. So, then after this one, we have the math episode. Yeah, I forgot the name of that one. But anyway, so in this episode, everyone's bored in math, except for Marco. Of course he wouldn't be. So, Yeah, people are falling asleep in math, but that's not what annoys the teacher. What annoys the teacher is someone laughing and waking up everyone else. Like, these people were enjoying their nap. How dare Star wake them up? And now they might even be able to pay attention to your lesson. Like, why would Star do this? Like, seriously, they wake up some of her students. Why was she angry about this? But, yeah, pretty much after she hears Star laughing at joke at the why the chicken crossed the road joke. Yeah, I guess that would be kind of funny to someone from another dimension, but to me it's just like, but yeah, after that she gets called up to answer one of the questions to a math problem, and she hasn't been paying any attention. I can relate to this a lot. Stupid math. But yeah, so she tries just getting out of it, but when she does, she goes back in time and sees the girl with the black hair. Forgot her name. Crap. Jamie. Janice, I don't know. I'm just gonna call her J for now. I know it starts with a J, so for now I'm calling her J. You know what? That just might be what I call her every episode of this. Like, I might just call her J forever. I don't know. I always forget her name. So yeah, J now has a different hat. Woo. And also, she tells a slightly different version of this joke, and things are a little bit different than when Star first got asked to come up to the board and answer the question. But she goes up there again and refuses it again, so then, back in time, because time loop. So yeah, if you've seen Groundhog's Day, or that episode of Supernatural, then you know how this is gonna go. Pretty much time loop keeps on happening, keeps on happening, keeps on happening, then you gotta do something to change it. So for Star, she actually comes up with a pretty good way around this, which is going and talking to Father Time. The obvious solution. But he doesn't really know anything about time loops, so he just sort of ignores her instead of telling her that straight up. And then she's got to talk to her. Then she's got to talk to, honestly, what I think might be Father Time's much cooler brother, Space Time. And I gotta say, I really do love the design of Space Time here. He's really a cool character, and one that I do hope that they do a lot more with. So, Space Time pretty much says, well, yep, you gotta answer the question, and then the time loop will be done, I guess. Why is there a time loop? Because of a math question? I have no idea. But, yeah, then she's just like, oh, okay, but I don't know the answer. He's just like, well, just try to answer. She's like, I don't know the answer, and I don't want to get it wrong. It's like, just try the freaking question. You know what, here, all the other dimensional selves did it, so you go off and do the freaking math question. So she goes and does that, because if she doesn't, then her dimension will be destroyed. How does that work? Like, not answering a math question, dimension destruction. Makes sense to me. So, yeah. Just gotta answer this question, or at least attempt it, and after spending quite a little bit of time thinking about it, the world is falling apart behind her. All of her other dimensional selves have already done it, and now it's on her to finish it. She gets it wrong, but she tried, and apparently that ends the time loop. Don't know how that works, but it does. So, time loop is done now, and now Star can just, I don't know, do whatever else she's gonna do. I guess maybe she'll actually do this little thing called paying attention in math class, but then again, it's math class, so I don't know. Or maybe she'll just get stuck in a time loop for every math class or something, I don't know. But Like, really, why is there a time loop on a math question? That makes no sense to me, but yeah, now she's solved this math problem, and now Marco's gotta do another one, but he'll probably actually get it right because, you know, I mean, he was actually listening, so that's pretty much it, and the episode ends. So, for this one, I think it's alright. It's definitely not one of my favorite episodes, but I do still like how they play with the idea of a time loop and how pretty much she doesn't ever try and take advantage of it or ever actually try and have some fun with it. No, what she instead decides to do is just sort of get angry the whole time, which I think is a much more normal reaction to a time loop. But I definitely do like what they did with it. And I also did like the introduction of the character Space Time. I really do hope that they do something else with him because he's a really cool character and I loved his design. So, yeah, there are definitely some cool things in this episode, but it's alright. I mean, like, I could pretty much pass over this episode a little bit, but it's still a good one and worth checking out. So after that one, we have the final episode to talk about, and it's just been 40 minutes. I'm sorry if you're still watching. Thank you. But like my voice is even starting to hurt actually. Saved the day. So for the final episode that we're going to talk about, unless if they put out a new episode soon, in which I would hate them for that. Why are they doing that? But for the final episode, we have the Bounce Lounge's closing episode. I forget the name of this one too, but let's just sum this one up fast, because really I've been talking about this for 41 minutes, and yeah, really not really that much happens in this one. So what happens here? The Bounce Lounge is closing. Ponyhead is destroyed about this for some reason. Star and Ponyhead then look over their fond times at the Bounce Lounge with a picture. And apparently they were there at senior prom. So how old is Star? Like, if she's already been to senior prom, was that like in middle school? Are there middle school senior proms? I really don't get this. Like, is she being put back in high school now on Earth? I'm really confused. How do people in Muni age? That's mainly the biggest thing that I got out of this episode. But yeah. So they decide, okay, well, we gotta go save the Bounce Lounge. So we're gonna go get our whole entire crew back together. So they get Kelly, who's depressed because forgot the character's name. Her boyfriend left her, and yeah, she's pretty upset about that. But she's just like, yeah, well, I guess if I can go to the Bounce Lounge, then my day will be saved. Okay, let's go. And also, she's still at that one place where they tried to get that hot dog. I don't know why. I guess that they just never gave her a portal back to wherever she's from. That's kind of an a-hole move there, but okay, sure, whatever. And they go and get this shark man who is now wasting his life, actually doing a pretty serviceable job. I guess he can't do that. So they decide, nope, you cannot be doing this. So they take him out to they take him out of this pretty good position that he was in, and then decide, no, you gotta go back to the Bounce Lounge with us. So eventually they do get him to go with them, and now they just gotta get this scarf and headset guy. Okay, kind of a weird crew, but alright. Also, I think that they're attached to a person, or maybe like it's just like a random thing that they have. But either way, that's still kind of weird. Like, do they just like hang on to people? Really weird. I want to know their story, but yeah, they bring them out of this other lounge that they're at by getting the police's attention. Best way to get people out of a lounge. And they all go back to the Bounce Lounge because I guess there was no other club for those two last guys to go to. So yeah, Bounce Lounge, might as well go there. So once they all get there, they find out that, yeah, it's still not enough people, and that they had to make $1 bajillion. Is that even a real number? Like, they gotta get a non-existent number. This'll work perfectly. And actually they do. They have a big party, and pretty much everyone gets there. They get enough money, at least from Marco chipping in at the end, and then we find out that, yeah, that's not the real reason why the Bounce Lounge was going to be closed. Actually, the real reason is that the person who owns it is now pretty much on her deathbed, and she's just like, well, I can't really have this place anymore. So, of course, she does the reasonable thing and gives ownership up to someone else. No, of course she doesn't do that. What she does instead is she destroys the place with people in it. Yeah, okay, okay, if I'm not go out, might as well take a few people with me. So, get out, go out, get those wrecking balls, and start destroying this place. Just, great idea. I don't know why I gotta do that when I die. Whenever I die, might as well get out some wrecking balls and start taking everyone else with me. Why was this in the show? So, yeah, she destroys the whole nerd club and then dies, I guess, and that's pretty much it. The Bounce Lounge is destroyed, and they all go home, and they're pretty depressed. Also, now none of their money is there. I don't know why they don't just go there, get the money, and then rebuild the place. I guess that's not an option at all. So, yeah, now they're all kind of depressed about it, but they got some souvenirs. Like, they got some shards of it, like a little bit of wreckage from it, and Ponyhead, she got a photo booth. And they're like, yeah, okay, she can steal scissors while people are in the bathroom. She can steal scissors from them, but stealing a whole photo booth without anyone noticing, that's a whole entire other matter. But yeah, she does that, and they all take a picture together, and that's pretty much it. So for this episode, it's a pretty decent filler episode, but it's not really my favorite. I do like the overall theme I do like the overall moral of it, which is pretty much just like, yeah, no, sometimes things just end, deal with it. No matter what you try to do, fix it, it's just gonna end sometimes. And I do like that overall moral, but outside of that, that's really all this episode brought. Well, that, and me beginning to question Star's actual age. Like, seriously, apparently she's already gotten out of high school, or at least what they are trying to get me to think here, that she's gone out of high school already. So why is she going back into high school? Like, I really don't get some of this stuff sometimes, but yeah, I mean, I guess it works. So yeah, I'm going to continue to question her age. So yeah, almost been talking about this show for 50 minutes. I kind of expected this one to take a while because there were 6 episodes to talk about, but jeez. So yeah, I'm really hoping that they don't keep up with this schedule of releasing 2 episodes a week, because usually, like, that would be what, like, I would have to talk about 4 episodes if I miss a week. But now, if I do miss another week, then yeah, I might end up having to talk about 6 again, which is something that I really hope I don't have to do again, because my voice is hurting now, and this honestly took a lot of time to do. So I really do hope that they just stick with the one pair of episodes a week thing, because, like, or at least, like, mini episodes, like, 11 minutes, it's all in one episode. But yeah, I think that you guys get what I'm talking about. If you don't, then I don't know. Too bad. But yeah, overall, I really do hope that they just go back to their normal schedule. But I did enjoy some of these episodes. Some of them were a lot of fun, and I actually do hope that, and some of them actually have a lot of potential to being continuous arcs and stuff going on. So yeah, I look forward to seeing what they're going to do with some of these. But there are also some of them that are pretty passable, but they're still pretty decent episodes. So yeah, I thought these ones were okay. And some of them were actually pretty good. So yeah, bye.